So today I'm going to speak on compassion and how that's related to forgiveness. Compassion. You know, this really came up right before I hit that button, right before I started the video. I think a lot of people withhold compassion from people who need it most. Because they don't see themselves in the other. They don't see themselves in the other person. You know? Oftentimes we will look down on other people. And at the homeless, you know, oh, why can't he get a job? You know, or a murder, right? That person took that other person's life for no reason, right? Or even worse, you know, rapists, right? People who do some really violent things to another human being. I mean, you look out at our history, our human history, of the most vile acts that we've done to each other. And we demonize these people, right? We demonize them in a way that they're lesser than, they're not human. And then we raise other people up and put them on this pedestal, right? Dr. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, what's the other one? Nelson Mandela. Who else we put? The Malcolm X. These are just, you know, very powerful, affluent people. We completely ignore all of the fuck-ups that they've committed and look at the most impactful acts that they've taken in life, but not the other stuff that they've done though. Because what the best thing they've done outweighs all the evil that they've done, so they're a good person, right? And the people who've done the utmost worst things possible in a human life to other people, it completely, you know, negates all the positive things that they've done or accomplished in their life. Now, you know, I think, yes, my moral compass will always side more to, you know, putting the people who are the most righteous of leaders, the most righteous of human beings on this pedestal of, wow, yeah, they did really great for us, you know, and then people who've done the worst acts I look down on, you know. I think that's everyone. Like, example, Hitler, right? One of the worst, inhumane. He's done probably the most worst things. I had the opportunity of visiting a concentration camp in Germany, in La Forêt Noire, the Black Forest. It's on the bordering between France and Germany. It was a very small concentration camp, and it was a very small one. It was like one of those where they would, you know, move them from place to place until they got to the much bigger, deadlier one, I guess. I'm not sure, but it was a very heart-wrenching experience for me and for all of us, the group that went. But practicing compassion for those that we feel shouldn't receive any. And I think, you know, aside from all this talk of recognizing the heart, the wounds of the heart, doing inner child work, that's probably one of the, as a healer, energy worker, or anyone on a very spiritual path, it's one of the biggest teachers and tests that we go through. Having compassion, having a deeper understanding of the roles that they played, you know, having a deeper understanding, understanding of the motives behind their actions, the holes in their narratives, the holes in their heart, in the valleys, holes, valleys, and ditches, and dungeons and caves that they have within their consciousness that have been neglected, malnourished for so long that it creates a space for monsters to reside. But still, I'm a very big believer in one must see oneself and the other. Like, this whole dual nature is only to recognize that one and one is the same. And I know to many new agey people that, like, no, there's good and there's evil, there's the right path and there's the left path. And my personal philosophy is all paths lead to one. Okay? And it's very difficult for me, and I'm going to share this now. It's difficult for me to just say one thing is purely evil and one thing is purely good, because something that I interpret as good may be incredibly devastating to something that's not good, right? Something that I may deem evil may bring benefits to something else. So it can get very muddy, because as human beings, we need to compartmentalize, we need to have labels, we need to have a distinguished way of understanding our reality and understanding our reality. But it is quite simple, but the simple way can be probably the most difficult. So yeah, it's something that, I want you to ask yourself, because I'm always asking myself. I'm not saying I have pity, for people who commit crimes against humanity, right? I don't have pity, no. But it's difficult for me to put into words. It's like a feeling and a knowing I have, like a deeper understanding of the why people do the most horrible things. And this might sound a bit crazy, but I feel like some people do the most horrible things to be a catalyst for another person to commit probably one of the most best acts in our human history. Like, the most heinous of acts as a human being acts as a catalyst for the best, for the most highest, most righteous of acts to be committed. I'm actively just speaking all this out, really. Nothing's written down. But I do ask myself, because it's hard for me to put in how I perceive the world energetically into words without really sounding off kilter. My spiritual language and energy language supersedes, the verbal way of communicating. So I don't, sometimes I just know. And other moments my ego will get involved and will try to dissect and analyze and stigmatize and, rationalize why a person would do what they are doing. But on a grander macro scale, I think and feel that all of it's interconnected. We are not separate from each other. We're all playing a role in this beautiful stage of life. So when people do things that harm you, okay, and you finally enter a space of wanting to forgive them, having compassion towards them in a way where you seek to understand the role that they played. I'm not saying agree with the role, agree with what they did, obviously not. But to really look at it in a more macro perspective than micro. We get into the, oh, that's so horrible, this person did this. Ah! And that's is incredibly important, because you can't be so detached from your human experience to just think like, oh, everything's connected, everyone plays a role. No, you have to experience the macro and the micro, and you can't be so locked in that you hate this person, you hate them, you hate your guts or their guts. Perfect example, I'll say this. The current conflict, which has been going on for hundreds of years, the current conflict in the Middle East between the Israelis and the Palestinians. And I'm not even taking the Jew, I'm not even going to use religion at this point, the titles, the Jews and the Muslims. No. It's beyond that point. It really is. Okay? Both sides are valid. Both sides are valid, right? But it's like they can't see themselves in the other. They refuse to see themselves in each other. They refuse. And one group, they view the other as low lives. Another group, they view them as low lives that are less than human. Both of each. It's like the repelling for, you know, when you try to push two magnets together like this, right? I think it's like the negative or positive. Is it positive? Negative, I think. But you have two magnets and you're trying to get them to connect, but they keep pushing. It's like that. You know, I could say some stuff in here that would probably get people really upset, but I mean, I'll save it for another time, I guess. Or probably doesn't need to be said, but that's a perfect example. You know, when you deny the human in another person, you deny yourself, no matter how evil they are. And no matter how righteous you think you are. I'm a better person because I did this. Or I'm such a horrible person because I did this. Everyone's better than me. There are people who think in both ways like that, and it's, man, it's just really very sad for me, you know, seeing one group of human beings killing each other. That's what I see. That's what I feel. I feel like, you know, it's just really, it's very sad that humans are willing to destroy each other, because that's how separate they feel that they are from one another. To completely wipe someone out. To obliterate them. To make them go away. You know, like, well, Hitler, right? But really connecting to the energy of compassion with people that are blinded by the illusion of separation, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Practicing compassion with people who practice the illusion, who are they are deep in the illusion of separation. I wish I had an answer to that, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't. Because you can't make someone see. No matter how many bombs you drop on them, no matter the insults you throw at them, no matter how many books you throw at them, how educational, academic, you know, you try to be with them to get them to reason. You can't reason. And that's, I think, very tricky to continue to have compassion or to practice compassion to people who are blind. Blind. And they're trapped in a hell of illusion. You can't save them. It's a very personal thing. So just ask yourself, you know, questions about how you use compassion with people who are trapped in the illusion of separation. And we all are, to a certain extent. We all are. We all deal with this illusion of separation, you know? I deal with it. And some days it's really apparent, other days it's very subtle, but we all deal with these things. So that's all I want to share with you at this time, at this moment. Thank you so much for sharing your space with me and tuning in. Please check out my Sounds of Silvertree, okay, SOS, right? That's my music channel where I post music once a week, every Saturday, and please check out my website, www.silvertreesounds.com. If you would like a personal reading, please send me a message there or leave a comment below, and we'll set an appointment up. All right, and also, again, I stress, free of charge. If you feel like you want to donate, by all means, I'm open to that. But you know, that's not really my focus of making money in this way. So, but thank you so much, and remember to embrace, expand, and evolve your consciousness.